There we go. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Been a couple weeks. Took a break last week. Did a bunch of stuff offline. Built a lot of crazy train stuff. I went a little crazy with trains. I also finished the computer factory and did some upgrades. So got some stuff going on. But the first thing I want to do is I got enough Mercer spheres to do the final upgrade in the MAM for level 5 alien technology. But that means everything's going to start loading into the dimensional depot. And that means all of the factories that we have are going to turn on and start loading into the dimensional depot to try to like refill whatever's left over. Fed has left the game. Fed, why'd you leave the game?
Because I can't build, and there's a bug.
Can't build and there's a bug.
There's bugs. There's a
Well,
beetle. Well, it wasn't the worst.
So I'm going to upgrade this, but our power grid may shut down in part. But we've been pretty good with um, priority switches, so I am hoping that means things will shut down gracefully and that we can easily start them back up. So, you ready?
Shut it down.
Let's see how much
I'm
your
okay.
battery pack can handle. Da-da-da.
Dimensional expansion
Find it.
finalized to 500%. Despite further
Um.
efforts, parts could not be broken down.
So far, we're not
Oh.
on battery.
Particles,
Just
could the
saying.
storage become
Look
more
at that.
dense
Oh.
without the particles
Oop.
spontaneously reacting with
It
one
was
another.
mildly
Once
exciting
again,
watching a line.
Oh, there it
There's the
goes.
battery.
Yet somehow more matter
No, that's
can
not
now
as
be
bad as I
stored
thought
in
it
the
would be,
same
but
dimension.
okay, it keeps going up.
No, that's very gradual
It says we've got
for what I thought it was going to be.
That is
several
very
hours.
thoughtful,
I mean,
I think.
some
We
of the things will
appreciate the
probably
attempts at
finish pretty
sharing
quickly.
scientific
It's
knowledge.
just got to make a
However,
stack of
perhaps we should
everything,
wait until we
basically.
have a more optimal way of exchanging data.
And then once it makes a stack of everything, it's just gonna climb back down and flatten out. So this has also got I made biofuel, liquid biofuel. So this has got that power supply in it too. So that'll give it a little bit, but not too much. You can see the
No, that
little
shouldn't be
difference in the two
much.
lines over here. That's how much the biofuel is adding. So not much, but it's enough that it'll help the batteries not go under quite so bad. But then once all of
I
this is taken care of, then I mean, this is like saying 2 to 3 hours worth of power, so I think that should be enough. I mean, it
I mean, to
probably
be fair,
does.
that looks about as trusty and reliable as like the bar that records the Windows file transfers.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a straight line, but really it's going up and down in the background, zigzagging, and it's not nowhere near accurate. It's terrible.
Yeah, but we're not going anywhere near a maximum consumption, which is way up here, and I don't even know why it's so high. Hey, we did back
That's
under.
good. That's a good question. That was a fun ride on the battery.
Yeah, I mean
I
it's
think.
gonna flip flop a little bit probably, but yeah. So we did it. We um we upgraded.
Yeah. Now we're gonna ride the line for a little bit, but
Yeah, I think some of the stuff like
that's still
computers are
pretty
gonna be
good.
a lot. Well, I'm gonna let that go and introduce the insane amount of train stuff that I did between sessions. So I've got a lot of train lines, and the original one we set up is now connected to everything. And I've got a few exchanges. So if I go into the trains, we can get pretty much anywhere I want in the world. The map is not terribly useful because it's like putting a bunch of stuff in the middle. But so I've got a lot of different train stations now. These south fields are actually over, I think, here. I probably won't go there, but first thing I want to do is go to the computer factory. So I'm just gonna let the auto driving take me to places because some of these exchanges are really difficult to get through manually. But I set up a home station. It's not really anything. It's just dropping off aluminum ingots. So I made one small aluminum production just so I could make stuff for Mark V belts. I would like to run all of the bauxite into a single location and build a massive aluminum plant that's processing all of the bauxite into ingots, and then processing all of those ingots into various different things, or taking them places they need to go. So from here on out in the buildings, I don't want to build entire infrastructure factories like this, that's making everything there needs to be for AI limiters. I want to start delivering component parts to other factories as much as we can using the trains.
And then is that just to use the trains, or are you trying to aim for efficiency, or?
It's a little bit about efficiency. It's a lot easier to set up a simple factory someplace all by itself, right? So you get a
I mean, if
factory
you
set
say
up
so.
that's making, say, AI limiters. It doesn't need that many parts. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get that exchange. See, this is the crazy exchange. And now that I'm over by the computers, I don't really need to do anything. But yeah, so you have AI limiters being built, and you just deal with that one thing there, right? Whatever that factory's building. And so you don't have to make it huge like I did the computer factory. So this is the finished computer factory, which no one has seen, including the HP Lovecraft Memorial 5-way equalizer.
I mean, I saw it.
You saw it,
I
but
did.
it's at a standstill right now because it's already overloaded, or everything is loaded. Look, we're back under again. We're not back down where we were, but we're pretty low. This is making everything I need for computers, except it's bringing in crystal. So I'm bringing in crystal and silica, I think, from the train. So you can see those lines running here. So the quartz crystal's coming in, the silica's coming in. Because it's really a pain in the butt to try to build something. Nose itching. It's trying to build like everything in for a recipe, like computers, because the map is just not set up to do all of it. Right? So this has a bunch of little mini factories in it. I think this is making reinforced plates. It's not getting all the iron ingots right now. Something is messed up with that. I'd figure out what that is later. This is where all the copper ingots are coming in. I'm using the copper and iron, and all of that's coming from up top of this hill. There's a bunch of really nice pure iron nodes, pure copper nodes up here. A couple of concrete as well. This is a really nice place to get a bunch of parts, and you need a lot of it for computers. And then I ran everything in to here to make cable. Made a giant cable spool on top. This is crystal oscillators. So I'm making a whole bunch of crystal oscillators over here. I've got those fully overclocked, so I'm getting 2.5 per 16. So, I don't know what that is. Like 48,
Those are numbers.
something like that.
Oh. I was just sure that they were numbers.
40, it's 40. And then circuit boards on this side from the sheets and the silica. And then finally all that's getting piped over to the salt recipe for circuit board computers, the crystal computer, which gives me quite a few computers. I don't think we'll ever need any more computers, so this is probably where we'll leave it. The storage over here, where did I put storage? I mean, everything's full. What I'd like to do then is actually run overflow from this back down to the train to deliver to somewhere else, because we're going to do radio control units, which use crystal oscillators, computers, and what was the other thing? Cable. Or no, aluminum was aluminum, which we can do wherever we're making the aluminum casings. I got another train up here, off in the distance. Go photo mode. That's just delivering quartz and silica from over here. We're pulling in all of the raw quartz from that cave via a push-pull train. Probably go over there and show that.
I still don't know how I feel about the push-pull train.
Well, the push-pull train doesn't know how to feel about you.
I mean, that's fair, but I don't know. Just very strange.
I don't know why I have these signals here.
Hey, how come you have those symbols there?
I don't know why I have these signals here. I think I was trying to extend this and connect it to the rest of the system, but there's not really need to do that. So the push-pull train comes down through the cave. At least I assume it comes down through the cave. I haven't seen the train. Probably catch it eventually. So the other cool thing about trains, notice we got the hover pack, is that train tracks can power your hover pack. So you can just fly right around the trains. So they're nice to have in that respect. Hello, goodbye. And then you can also transmit power via the train system through the freight platform. So if I didn't have all the wires running through here on the freight platform, I could just power it from this. So if this is connected, the rails are connected to another powered station, you can run from this station back out. So if you
Now, what does that just do the freight platform, or do you?
no, you
Can you
can
do
power
any?
everything. Yeah, it just connects it to the grid.
No, but I mean, like, is a station going to connect it to the grid, or does it have to be the freight?
Oh no, it's station, not the freight.
Okay. Okay.
Did I say freight? I was just
I like telling you you're wrong, so yes.
okay. I like being wrong. I didn't make these up to code yet. I haven't been down here in a while, so I didn't realize it.
That's a good excuse.
We gotta
I'm
put
very
everything back
disappointed
into
in you.
code. Got floating platforms fed. How'd you let me get away with this? You're supposed to be the
When do you listen to me?
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It only works if you value what I say.
What?
Exactly.
There we go. Alright. So push-pull train, you gotta have two engines pointing each way, and then each side the train station basically points out, and then you cap it off. You don't have to cap it off, but it looks nicer, and if the power goes out, apparently trains will run off the edge as they glide. And then you just set up the two stations and it'll go back and forth. So this is just picking up and dropping off. And it's got a pretty good throughput because you can pipe in double belt worth in and drop it off and pull it out into some storage. So it's better throughput than a single belt. So if you need more than two belts, you can always just add a second cargo platform and or freight platform and do more. So I like trains, if that wasn't obvious. Trains are complicated though. A lot of people I see have problems with trains, so I do plan on making a video just about trains and what I do for trains eventually.
You can't post that on YouTube. That will be on your OnlyFans account, which is a free
Again,
OnlyFans account, guys.
Again, not that kind of train.
I stand by what I said, and it'll be on its OnlyFans account.
I don't think I like you.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't mean that kind of train either. I was talking about you and locomotives with inappropriate content, but that's fine too. You took it a step further, and I commend you for that.
I'm gonna go just ignore whatever you're saying now and head to the Red Forest where I've set up my one small aluminum station. I'm using one bauxite node and a little bit of coal. Eventually, and probably today, in fact, I'm going to run more trains out that direction. But I just want to show everything that's been done. And this will take us by what will eventually be a central storage location that I want to make really kind of super sci-fi looking. I made a bridge that I like and a platform that I like, but I haven't put anything else there. I'm still debating on how to do the central storage, whether I want to train to drop things off into central storage, or will it just be items that I've manually dropped off. Okay, I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
So, I'm asking this question for no particular reason, but can I pass energy through an elevator shaft?
You can.
All right, that's good.
So you can use every stop on the elevator as a power node, which is really nice.
Oh, that is quite helpful.
Yeah. It's actually, that could be something to do for a code, because I had no way to run power through floors up until now. So now you could run an elevator simply to get power to all of those floors.
I mean, that would be pretty good if you make the floor accessible and power it at the same time. That's convenient.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing you can do is pick up motors from the motor plant. So we can put a little branch off to go get those and take them for when we need turbo motors, which is, I think we can make turbo motors at this point. I don't remember if I think we unlocked that.
I want to believe. I mean, I have no idea, but I want to believe.
It's very good. Hey, look, another train. So this is my sci-fi looking area. I haven't gone very far, but I want to build up. I don't know if you've played Horizon Zero Dawn, or really it's Horizon Forbidden West. They have alien, or not really aliens, but they have people that have built this kind of white architecture like this. I liked it. It looked cool. Kind of mirroring that.
Yeah. It's lost on me, but yay, things.
Also cleared out the trees here, so my trains don't run into stuff.
Except for that one.
It's just hanging over the side. It's fine.
Yeah, until a kid that sticks his arm out of your car gets whiplash and you're liable for it.
They're no kids.
It's just... That's besides the point. An adult will do it.
Yeah, that does sound like something I might do. Alright. This is the mini aluminum. I made a blueprint for this setup. So aluminum is a little bit more complicated than anything else that we've built up to this point for like base materials. So I made a blueprint for it and use a bunch of alt recipes, because the basic recipes that you start with require additional things to process. It gets a little bit hairy. I really like the sloppy alumina. The base recipe, as you can see here, I can't keep it up. The first one gives you silica, and you have to do something with the silica. Sloppy alumina doesn't do that. You don't get as much, so it's 12 to 12, and it'll go 10 to 12. So actually, no, that's a little bit better. It's faster. So you get 240 minute instead of 120 per minute. So all around, I just think that's a better recipe. The aluminum scrap recipe, I believe, is just the standard one. You take in coal and alumina solution and output aluminum scrap and water. Since we have water, we can pipe that back in to supply the water for sloppy aluminum. And then you can't get quite enough, so I have extra over here. This will do 80 per minute. Ooh, don't want to change that. And the way that you prevent it from overflowing is you make this one go up and this one come down. And that means this water will get consumed before this water. Right now it's completely full because everything else is completely filled up. But if I yank out this stack, it'll eventually start filling the water from there. And so it keeps getting pulled out. So I built this blueprint, and I can share the upload and share the blueprint for this, but this will keep everything from backing up. I mean, it will back up here because I don't have anywhere to push the scrap. So then I'm using the pure aluminum ingot recipe, which is just smelter. The other aluminum ingot recipe uses silica. That's the basic one. So you can use some of the silica that you would have got from the basic alumina recipe, but it's not enough. So you're going to have to get silica from somewhere else. So this bypasses that. And so instead of 6-4 or 3-2, you're getting 2-1. So instead of 60%, you're getting 50%. So it's a little less and it's a little slower, but you don't have to deal with the silica at all. So it's completely pulled silica out of the equation, which makes it far simpler. It doesn't look like this thing is on. Why does this have... I don't want that. Stop it.
Do you know what I'm really I really wish the stackable conveyor poles would clip to belts. Really wish that was the case.
Yeah. You can nudge them. I mean, they will work, but...
Yeah, it's not for what I'm doing, but it's fine.
Oh, are you just doing it for, like, aesthetics and you want it to...
Well, I mean, I've got 2 belts that I would love to run, like, merge together and then run. So I just got to redo what I did, I guess. It's just disappointing. I want nice things, and I'm often not allowed to have nice things.
No, you shouldn't have nice things. I think I'm going to have to pull out some water. So this will get going again. Yep. I think it's all going again. I'm going to do it again just to get a little leaner on the water. So now we'll be... It should be all balanced. I mean, that design is to be balanced. It also is designed to not be overclocked at all, so I can, if I want to overclock it, I can overclock everything in this blueprint. So this is the whole unit.
That's a unit, all right.
Yep. And I did that in Mark II, so... Aluminum. No fuss.
I feel like there's some fuss, but that might just be me.
Oh, yeah, I think it is just you. Aluminum is not too terrible on the coupons. I mean, we've been running for a long time, so we've got a lot of coupons. But and then I brought in, actually, copper from somewhere else, because if you look on the map, there's really no convenient copper. So I actually built a thing over here that's delivering copper via the trains, and that's working very well to make all-clad aluminum sheets. So now I have Mark V belts by default. Woo! And then I made a loop around just so it's a little easier to get around. Where else do we want to see? Is there anything else? Let's go here. I don't think you've even seen this part, Fed.
Probably not.
So give a little bit more tour of train tracks all the way out to the end. And I think we're probably good on the inventory and the dimensional depot by now.
Yes, the power grid did jump back down to, standard normalized levels.
Yay. Oh, I gotta fix that pole. There's a pole in the middle of a railroad track. That's not good at all.
I blame the manufacturer.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 2 of us working here, so it's gotta be one of our faults.
There's only one of us working here.
I mean, you're here. I'm here.
See, I am here.
Which one of us is working?
That's my point.
Or
So I
each
don't
of us
think it's
only
me.
half working? Are you broken?
Yeah.
Do we need to request a new pioneer?
I mean, I feel broken, but that's fine.
Aww. Muffin.
It's alright. It's alright. I have not taken the forever nap, so it's fine.
Don't do it.
It's fine. But I'm working on redoing the sites we had from the original
Oh, are you taking
stations
this down, or are you building up the new thing?
So far, I'm just piping some concrete over. And that's all I'm doing at the moment.
Okay,
Because
so we were talking about this before starting up, but the original starter factory, fine for materials that we want to use for building things, but want to be able to deliver some of those materials out to other factories that we're building. So if you need iron plates for something and you don't have iron nearby, it'd be nice to just send it by train. And so basically I thought, let's rebuild the entire starter factory, everything that we're making there up to the modular frames. There's the copper, by the way. It's just picking up raw copper, nothing fancy. Everything up to the modular frames that's being made there. The steel plant we could probably also redo. I don't know how you feel about this, but if we need more coal, we could probably decommission the coal plant.
I like my coal plant. I was very happy with my coal plant.
Oh, so we could.
It was a good.
Find another steel.
It was a good coal plant.
It's a great coal plant. There's the weapons. Goodbye, weapons. So I extended this on. This is the part I don't think you've seen, but.
Okay. Is that up from Lake City?
Yeah, so this is sort of the first newbie starting area. And I just have 2 stations for turning around, so I can get over here. I don't know what I'm going to do over here. But I just built a station here and an exchange. There's a lot of materials over here, so we are in this area. So we could build additional auxiliary supplies for stuff. I don't know what we'd do. But you've got another thing you've got over here. So we could do a steel factory near here because we've got a bunch of coal, and then up on the hill you've got a bunch of iron. So we could either belt down all of the iron or belt up the coal. and start making steel here. I think it would be
Do we have
better
to
if we
do
did
anything?
it on the ground. That way we could attach it to the existing train line.
Do we have to do anything with our hatches?
Hatches?
Well, I imagine they're going to be belted down as well.
Do you want them battened down? Is that what you mean?
Probably, but
We could
it's fine.
batten down some hatches if you want. But
I
there are
would
no
like to
boats.
at one point.
There are no boats.
There should be some boats. Let's expand
Boats
this
is-
world. Let's
Yeah.
cargo containers. That'd be kind of neat.
I mean, if you look at it,
There's oceans. There's
yeah, we
oceans
could
to be
go
explored.
all the way. Fish 55. Some rivers.
55.
I don't know if you could navigate the river, but maybe you could go on this side. If there was any way to cross over, then that would be amazing. Oh, look at that. The trains are working. Oh, that's so cool. I love it when the train's working. You waited for me.
So is the MTA just a giant letdown for you?
What's the MTA?
Mass transit?
Oh. I think that every time I've been on it, it works. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought I said funny jokes, but yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, Mr. Numbers, assuming, well, I guess you don't have the information you're gonna want. I have at least a normal node of 2 normal, 3 normal for limestone. Should I port them all in through one?
One belt?
Yeah,
Merge them
one.
all?
I have 2 belts coming over. So I'm like, I stacked it and whatever. Got that looking nice.
I think
But when
you
I'm
can-
coming up through the factory floor, should it be through one hole or should I do?
I think so a Mark III completely overclocked miner on a pure node of limestone will give you 1200. So it should be half of that. So 600 is the absolute max you're going to get out of that.
Okay. So I'm looking at 1800 then.
So that'll mean 2 Mark 6 belts, or let's say 3 Mark 5 belts. So you might as well just use the 3 belts.
Okay. This is why I have you around. You do math.
I do math.
I feel like I do math. You do some math. That's good.
I also want to share my blueprint. This is actually built from a blueprint, which 1.1 is officially live. We're playing 1.1, and if you notice in the upper left-hand corner, there's no more experimental. They've got all of the stuff. That's pretty awesome. And I made a blueprint for this roundabout exchange, except I misspelled it. I'll have to fix that.
Shame.
I'm terrible. That's why I do math.
I guess that's fair. I won't begrudge you for that.
So it's only a quarter of a roundabout, and you can actually use it to build a full roundabout. But you can't. I struggled with this for a minute, and then I figured out how to do it. So I'm going to show you how to do it. I'll build the platform first, and then darn you, build mode. Build the platform first, and then build the thing, and then I'll just get rid of it all. So is this the 6? This is the 5. Yeah, so this is 5 by 5. So I'll do it 10 by 10 here. And I'm gonna need some more power so I can fly. So connected blueprints is really, really nice in 1.1. If you haven't played with it yet, it's really, really cool. It lets you build some things that you couldn't build before. Also, we've got the nudge, so I can nudge these things exactly where I want them. And this blueprint, I've got it aligned to the grid so that the tracks are not centered in the foundation, but just slightly to the outside. So this is really meant to build a 2-track system, just like what we're running in this world. So I can build the first one, no problem. But if I try to do an auto connect, I could do it on one side, and I'm great. That's great, right? Okay. But then I realized when I try to build the other side, more power. When I try to run this side, it tries to auto connect this and it won't let me, so I get the red. I can't do that. So you can't build it. Why am I not able to? I can't dismantle my blueprint fit. What'd you do?
They don't like you.
I don't like me either, but so
You
you
should
can't
lose your arm.
you can't start with auto connect mode. So I went back to the regular mode, and you build the opposite corner. Then you switch to auto connect mode, and now. And when I was trying to do this earlier, the server wanted to crash on me. So hopefully the server doesn't crash. But now I can build this entire exchange. And then you have to add some path signals. So in this, you would want a path signal here. I'm not going to put them in, but you need path signals on all the entrances and block signals on all the exits.
What if your entrance is an exit?
It can't. It shouldn't be if you're doing trains right, which is, you know.
What if the train just comes in and does a wicked 360?
That's on that train, man. I can't stop it.
Okay.
I'd rather it didn't, though.
I mean, why
So
not?
the codes that we have for trains, if we follow them, it'll never mess up. That's why I did those codes that way. But if you aren't careful about which side of the track your train runs on, then you can mess things up. But blueprint. I have to fix this exchange. Roundabout exchange. Saved. And now I'll delete the bad one. I really wish there was a way to just change the name. It won't let you do it. You can't change the name.
I wouldn't let you do it.
Yeah, but you're not very nice.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, hey, cool. I like your elevator use over here. Let's see what you're doing.
I'm not doing anything terribly interesting as of yet. But I'm pushing buttons.
So
I've
you
just
built
dropped
it up
refineries for
pretty
wet
high.
concrete.
It's pretty high.
I did. It is.
So you're gonna have to.
I was thinking about having a hookah lounge downstairs, because why not?
I'm gonna recommend something.
What's that?
I recommend you double the number of refineries for this, because if we upgrade these to Mark III, it'll double the number of.
Oh, so I should do 2 refineries per.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then, I mean, they're producing 120. These are accepting 120. So if you double it, and then you underclock them to 50%, you'd run the same. You're going to get the same number. But then when we upgrade to Mark III, all we'll have to do is clock them up to 100, and they'll work. And if we want to overclock the output to just go into the stratosphere, then we can still do it, and we'll have to rebuild it.
Okay. I can click buttons.
That's just a suggestion.
No, it makes sense.
And as a suggestion, it's something you absolutely have to do. That's what a suggestion is, right?
That's what my wife says.
Same. There's a line in Star Trek Deep Space Nine from Odo about compromise. Do you know that one?
I don't.
I wish I remember what it was exactly.
Oh, well, for shame.
I'll just look it up real quick.
That's disappointing. You're supposed to know these things, Walt.
I have the internet.
Okay, what about the internet? Everyone's got the internet.
I'm trying to find the
Yeah.
transcription for this, but I don't see it. It's something about, she wants to see Klingon opera, you want to do something. I forget what the other something is. So you compromise and you see Klingon opera.
Well, I mean, it's hard to turn down a good Klingon opera. That's
just
that's
like
kind of
Shakespeare
fair.
in the original Klingon.
God. Uh,
Hey,
and I liked DS9 too. That's
DS9 is good. It's very good.
all right. It was all right.
Well, I have that. All right, should I take down the old concrete?
You could probably find something more interesting to do. You were talking about radios before. That was
Radials.
radios. You said something about how Watt was a hack and Tesla deserved way more credit than Macron, if I remember right.
I don't remember saying any of that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to pretend you did.
You can pretend I did. That's fine.
Okay.
Also, the first thing I need for... Oh, doesn't want to go because I'm too close to the switch, I think. I am going to turn off self-driving. Oh, I didn't turn it on. That would help. So first thing I want to do for radio control units is aluminum casings. I don't currently have aluminum casings being produced. So we'll start with that. And then I don't know how many radio control unit things we want to build. I think if we did two manufacturers, that would get us a decent number. Went up to 4, that would be kind of... I think it would still be plenty. Probably more than we'll ever need. We will need them for pressure cubes for nuclear pasta. So they are still a piece in the chain for space elevator parts, so it might be worth making a few of them. But if we get the factory going and it's built up a bunch, then by the time we start making nuclear pasta, we'll have them. Is that thing?
I can sanction nuclear pasta. That's fine.
I just wish they had more nuclear pasta sauce.
You're such a funny guy. I mean, really, I'm trying to contain myself here. It's amazing.
Why did the barnacle attach itself to the dock?
It was bored.
Peer pressure.
Oof. Not that mine was any better, but it's a little stiff.
Sorry. Why do phlebotomists hate their job?
Because they don't alt tab back to the screen they were on before.
That's something else entirely. That's all their work is in vain.
Oh, that's a good phlebotomy joke. You never know when that's going to come in handy.
That's the best phlebotomy joke I've ever told.
I mean, that's not as helpful as, a proctologist driving a brown probe, but still, you tried, and that's a thing.
Alright, I'm gonna have to rearrange some stuff, it looks like. And I'm going to have to make this tree sad.
I can't say I agree with the murdering of trees. I think that's a worthwhile endeavor. But maybe we don't murder enough trees.
I don't know if you can say that on YouTube.
You probably can't, but you know,
I'm gonna have to bleep you.
yeah, probably won't do you any good. But
Oh no.
I do love how YouTube has changed our verbiage, and they didn't want you saying certain words, so now we say words. So we don't say the other words, but everyone still knows what we mean. So we just added communication with extra steps. I love it. Absolutely awesome.
It's good. It's good. All right. So for each one of these to make 2.5, I'm going to need 40 aluminum casings. So if I want to do 4 manufacturers worth, I'm going to need 160 aluminum casings. Can we do 160 aluminum casings? Looks like that won't be too bad. So 160 aluminum casings would be what? 3? Underclocked?
Oh, 3 or 4. Which I'm realizing is a very, very old joke that just, I don't know why I bother.
On that note, I'm going to make some constructors.
You should totally make some constructors. They're pretty awesome. They construct things.
Constructors. Why?
I don't know.
Because I can.
It doesn't seem like a good enough reason, but yeah.
I also think
It's your stream. I guess you could do whatever you
something
want.
has gone wrong with my aluminum.
Don't you mean aluminium? Aluminium?
Okay, so I got too much water. I'll empty this guy too. Get rid of your water. Alright. That should be good.
Wow. There's just already on the concrete, there's some serious water consumption down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Water consume.
Yeah, no kidding.
I like the alts that use water recipes. Right? And mainly because water is effectively free. It doesn't cost you anything
Oh,
to make water. No materials, right? You just have to have the space to do it.
okay. I'm just realizing I need 5 water extractors to pump those refineries up to full, which sounds like a lot for where I'm at in this stage of the game.
Yeah, it's just water refineries. Or water extractors. They're not... No, you can't... I guess the reason I say that they're free is you can't do anything with just water, right?
Okay.
So if you're not producing water, or if you're producing water, there's nothing else that you could do with it that it would be useful.
Okay.
So by plugging it into, say, iron to get extra iron ingots, that is somewhat useful.
More so than nothing. Yes. I guess I track and follow that.
That's about it. That's my whole thought on it.
Okay. That was a very good thought. I liked it.
I know it's simple, but if you like, a lot of the other recipes require you to use some resource that you might use for something else. Like there's the sulfuric acid recipes, and they can be good because I think for copper or Caterium, I forget which one. It's like the absolute best thing that you can do, right? For as far as like your Caterium to Caterium ingots usage, but it uses some sulfur, and sulfur is useful in other recipes. So, do you want to use that, or do you want to use? Do you want to use it for Caterium, or do you want to use it for something more useful, like turbo fuel, right? But water,
Okay.
you're not going to use for anything else. It doesn't make anything on its own, and it's not used in any, like, there's enough of it that even if you use it in another recipe, you've got more. There's just plenty of it. So I like the water recipes. They're really nice.
I mean, yeah, I've had good luck with, they've done me well.
I don't think I want
Like,
to pick up.
my one game, I made Caterium and had a lot of Caterium going into um, the sink there, just ingot form, which actually produced me a really, really good clip of points.
Yep,
The copper powder didn't do as well as I thought it would, but that turned out to be like very steady. So I can appreciate these things.
yeah, copper powder. It's hard to produce a ton of copper powder, and the only thing you really need copper powder for is the nuclear pasta. It's the only recipe I think it's used in.
I didn't have a problem making the what you call it, copper powder. Surprisingly, which I was surprised at, but
Well, if you want to make a ton of it, like if you're making a whole bunch of nuclear pasta and you really want to make a bunch of it, I think if it's nuclear pasta, yeah, I think it's nuclear pasta you use for the teleporter things. It's part of the power or the fuel for the teleporter.
okay.
And if you want to make a bunch of teleporters, you really need a lot of it, and then it becomes, it's not hard to make it. It's hard to do the logistics for it because there's so much of it. You got to pipe so much into the converters to generate enough nuclear pasta to supply just a single manufacturer making the fuel for the teleporter. Especially if you want to overclock it. But it's doable. I mean, it's not impossible.
I figured if it was impossible, it would just wouldn't happen in the game.
Ha!
You made noises.
Bean got on the train. Bean fell off the train.
Jump stations.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy for him. He looked like he had fun.
didn't want to load the aluminum into the computers. I meant to hit. I do this all the time when I'm on a train. I want to alter the timetable, and I want to hit E and then leave the train, and then the train is just gone. Can't get back in it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound optimal. That sounds like not what you want to do.
It's suboptimal.
Yes, yes it is. But that's what I expect from you. Big fancy numbers, got all the points on there, but still push the wrong button.
It's a button, man.
They're hard.
Yeah.
They are tricky.
Buttons are
They're
weird.
very tricky.
That's what kept me from being a professional StarCraft player.
Wow. That and you didn't serve any time in the Korean military. Or, yeah, South Korean military. That is where you really hone your skills. Those guys are they're impressive. They're very good players. Hey, how come that car's not the right color? What are you doing there?
Changed
Like,
it.
what?
It is the right color. It's carrying silica, so I changed it to white.
No. Okay. I guess it's acceptable.
This thing's unloading. I can bring down pretty much all the other mats, computers from here, and crystal oscillators from there too. So I think I'm storing the crystal oscillators here. And I'll probably upgrade this. Storage.
You say up every time you talk about upgrade, the only thing I hear is upgrade doesn't get his money, he's gonna be mad.
Upgrade. That is a quality movie.
It is, and honestly, I've there's been tragedy in the world, and it breaks my heart. John Redcorn, or the actor who played him, was shot. And it's
I
terrible.
didn't know he was shot.
There was an
Died.
altercation of some sort. I don't remember what.
Well, I know it wasn't Dale.
Yeah, because most of King of the Hill's voice actors are gone. I'm sorry. Them losing Dale, I hope they got plenty of, like, the JFK assassinations have been released. Dale Gribble is the person I want to hear the details from. And it breaks my heart that I may never get that. It really does. I can trust Dale. Because he said not to trust the government, so I can trust him.
Sure, that's how that works.
Hasn't failed me yet. So, I mean, take that for what you will.
Oh, I will.
Okay, I'm glad you're doing that. That's good. But it's a shame that they brought back the show, and it's gonna have so many obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult. That goes to 2.
I do not think that's going to work as easy as I thought it would. What is going on here? Belts, man. Let's do this. That'll work, right? Haha. Good curve. Curve. Okay, so now I got computers. I got crystal oscillators. And I got casings. So now I can just build me a factory. Let's see.
Are you building yourself a factory?
Building a factory and I'm gonna make radio control units.
Remind me, were we just doing, like, was I taking the concrete powder and then shipping the concrete powder back, or am I just putting up machines up here to build the concrete?
So you're making concrete, right? Taking limestone,
Yes.
making concrete. So for now, all
Right.
I really care about is we
No.
put some into storage, and then we put some into the dimensional depot because we
Right, no, I'm losing my mind. I'm just making. I'm thinking there's a step after the refineries, and there is not.
There is no step.
Freaking Zool got me. And did you, for this at least, since I'm not going back, should I put a dimensional depot up here?
For the concrete, we
Yes.
have 2 right now, and I keep running out. So what I was thinking we could do is put a splitter and do 6. I don't know if that's overkill. If you think 4 would be enough, but you could.
Do you want 4-dimensional depots?
Let's start with 4. We can always up later when we have, because we don't have.
I mean,
we have 9
okay.
spheres right now. Over.
I'm so not used to that, but
we can
okay.
take the 2 that we're using for the old place. So yeah, doing 4 would be enough. I was building something and I ran out of concrete.
And I see that's a massive problem.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have that. That's unforgivable. We'll get on the horn to the congressman and the other village elders so we can address this issue.
Okay. Is it
Well,
like
I mean,
literally a horn though? I mean,
yes.
it'd be kind of cool if it was.
I mean, it's the most effective way to summon them. Let's not divulge more state secrets here.
That wasn't even the real horn, man. That was just me making noises. You don't think I would use the real horn on live stream?
I feel like you would. And the audience would know.
They wouldn't know.
They might know. It could happen.
I mean, we do have a comment from Tragic Penguin X. I don't know if he's still
We
here.
do.
You were supposed to be looking at that. I don't know if.
I missed it. I apologize.
See if he's still here.
What's the
No.
comment?
No, he's not. Hello, just found you
Oh.
somehow on my home screen, homepage. Wow, YouTube is promoting something. Go figure.
I apologize to that user.
He really is a tragic penguin.
Very not used to paying attention to things.
That's like a third of our commenters right there.
Yeah. I also can't brain. I'm trying to think how to do what I want to do here, and it's being painful.
Yeah, braining is tough.
Let me tell you, after melting my brain on phone spreadsheets, yes it is. Don't recommend it. It's not fun.
It's kind of like adulting.
And, yes. It is very similar to adulting.
Adulting is terrible.
It's true.
Don't do it, man. I don't know where this power cable is going. But needs to stop clipping.
You want 4-dimensional depots up here for things? Is that correct?
That sounds right.
Should I take the output and slap? I should slap it all into one manifold on the way out. Yes, and then just peel off of that.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, that reduces all the outputs to. Ah, this is hurting my brain. You didn't tell me I'd have to use it today, and it's very painful.
You didn't warm it up, did you?
No. No, I did not. I think I have something. Do you want a container below them? Or just straight into depots, dimensional depots?
What I've usually done is have a container and then go into the dimensional depot from the container.
Double or single stack?
For concrete, double. And then you can run, like you could have like a 2x2 array of dimensional depot uploaders, like 2 on the first level and 2 on the second level. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense.
So, this is interesting. You're saying that I should take 2 outputs to 2 different dimensional depots off.
No. Oh yeah, two dimensional depots running in. So you've got the industrial container has 2 outputs, right? A top and a
Yes.
bottom. So if you stack
So-
2 dimensional depots, you can run belts straight across, right, into those 2. So 2 dimensional depots to 1 industrial container. But if you put a splitter, you can run 4, 2 stacks next to each other. And then if you want to add another 2 later, you can.
So again, you want everything into one manifold.
Then I wouldn't do a manifold.
I don't like you, but I'm just gonna do something, and then you're gonna.
All right. So look at what I've got on my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can have a dimensional depot, like here, and then you can do another one here, right?
And go straight across.
Right. I'm saying you could put another one beside it. I don't have the space here, but you could put another one.
No,
here.
right.
Well, I guess I do have it, like that, right?
Okay.
And then you just put a splitter between them, and then run the splitter into them. You may have to get more space than what I did here, but.
No, I understand that, but what's the advantage to that?
Well, the maximum you can upload in the depot is way less than what you can put on the belts.
So my
you'll
thought
get
was if
quadruple the upload speed.
I understand that the 4-dimensional depots. I understand that part. Why are they coming all off of one container?
You just run all of the things into that container, and then it just stores them up. And then when you need more, it's like filling it at the maximum rate. And
but isn't that just a manifold?
that's not a manifold.
It's all hitting one container and one pipe.
I mean, you could do
and then
a
splitting
manifold.
back off of that.
Maybe we have a different definition of manifold. I don't know. But
Well, it's like one big hopper for those 4 depots then.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if I split it before going into the storage container, each storage container would be a stockpile of the material.
that is true.
Is there what's the advantage and disadvantages there?
I haven't really thought about doing multiple storage, but I don't know that you need multiple storage. I'm not sure.
So let's say if I did a individual container and then stacked a dimensional depot on top of it. That would essentially give that dimensional depot a buffer of the content of the container. So if I had 4 containers acting as a buffer, wouldn't that give me 4 times the buffer?
It would give you 4 times the buffer, but I don't think you need that much buffer.
I'm not saying we do, but if you're saying you run out of concrete, then let's say I don't need that much of a buffer, then I could do 2-dimensional uploads, but that limits the upload speed. And you want upload speed.
Yeah, I want upload speed. I don't think we need that much buffer. So the buffer is enough to supply the fully supply the upload, right?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, because your usage chart is, I guess, what I'm looking for, of how much of a spike in usage is this system going to have to absorb?
3.
Yes, that's my point. Is that's really hard to quantify.
No, I don't know.
But you see where that's the logical question, right?
You're not going to be able to deliver any more than what the belts have. So more buffer is just more items in reserve. Right? And you're not going to be able to deliver all of that.
Right, but if it's a spike in usage, that stockpile would keep you from running out. And then even if it regens slowly, if you have more of a buffer, like with our power in the battery in the beginning of this episode, that should allow us to take a big spike and eventually slowly build it back up.
Yeah, but I don't think having multiple containers is going to make a difference. I don't know. I don't think it is. I've never seen I've never had a spike in item usage big enough that I emptied out an industrial container and then had to wait for them to be produced.
Well, that's what I'm looking for in the way of an answer. Is like,
yeah, I can't tell you that it can't happen. I don't know because I haven't thought about it, but I don't think it will.
So let's riddle this. If there's, let's say I had 2 industrial containers, 3 refineries and 3 refineries, each fueling each one. Off the back end, I could do 2-dimensional containers coming out of the individual container. Would it matter that it doesn't have that much input? Because if it's just acting as a buffer, a single input would be fine.
Probably.
But are you sure?
No, I'm not.
Well, I don't know why not. You're the math guy. Do math. Like, Jesus. You're the guy. You're the professional here. Why am I asking questions?
I was setting everything up over here. I was thinking about what I was doing, not what you were doing.
I see that.
All right, radio control units are automated.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a thing, and then you can tell me it's bad later.
It's very bad. Why are you doing it that way?
Mostly because I'm going to do what I want. I figured that was readily apparent.
Okay. So you gotta. So your buffer accepts more items, right, than you can produce per minute, or accepts only the items you produce per minute. But let's say your dimensional depot can upload 240 items per minute. If you're producing fewer than 240 items per minute, you don't need a buffer, right? At all. You need no buffer because it'll only start.
if the dimensional depots are uploading,
240
would
is,
you?
I think, what the maximum now.
Okay,
We've
so if
uploaded
they're
fully
each
uploaded.
doing, so I have two of them doing 240, right?
That's
That's
480.
680.
480.
You're right. Math.
Mhm.
Um,
So if you're
you served your
producing,
one function.
if you're producing more than 480, you need a buffer for sure, because you want those to go somewhere before they get uploaded, right? And that buffer will start filling up. If
But
you're
if I was,
producing less than 480,
I'd still need a buffer.
then the only reason you need a buffer is once it's full, you'll start accumulating. And I think that's what you need. If you're producing more, you don't need a buffer. I was wrong. I said it wrong the first time.
I was gonna say, yeah. So I'm expecting to produce less than what these will be uploading at the spike consumption.
Mm-hmm. So spike
Okay.
consumption will only go. You'll only be able to consume them. Like you've got 5 stacks, which is a buffer in itself, right? Once you consume those 5 stacks, you're going to be uploading 240 per minute per depot that you're using. So if we can spend 480 a minute for 2 depots, then we need more to always have them.
Okay, you're
'Cause
saying
we
math.
have 2 right now, and it's not enough because I managed to, in building the computer factory, I managed to run out and have to wait.
Yes, and you don't like that.
Waiting is bad.
You're bad.
I am bad.
Okay. Good lord.
Yeah, I know I'm very bad.
That's
Wall.
tells us. I hate when I put the wrong thing in place and it makes me sad.
That's what she said.
You make her sad? That's terrible, Malt.
I was talking about the wrong thing in the place.
Oh. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, you will when you're older.
Oh. Okay. I'll take your word for that, you rotten guy, you. Although, why? Oh my god, if I did that again.
Did you do it again?
Oh, I did it again, because these... I thought I built the right one in the first place, and I didn't. So that is biting me in the keister. And I don't care for that. Because I want smart splitters. And I did not build smart splitters.
Did you build dumb splitters?
I did. It's
For shame.
less than optimal. Any...
I don't really
But-
need this entire row of stuff here. I made this building too large. Or, well, larger than it needs to be. Well, let's say too large. Alright, so we're getting 10 radio control units per minute.
Okay. That sounds like a good thing.
I mean, it sounds like a good thing. I hope it is a good thing.
I would like to believe it's a good thing.
I'm going to return to where you are and see what the heck you're messing up over there.
Ugh, great. I come over here and flip on the coal plants or the limestone processors. That would be great. And then I can complain how I don't have enough concrete.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Oh, I gotta log out. This is fun.
Can you not build anymore?
I built a zooped row of concrete, and it stayed blue. Which
Oh.
means borkity bork bork.
Yeah, there's still a lot of bugs with the dedicated server, it seems. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it does seem to be the dedicated server that's the problem, and not my computer or not me, or it's you.
Yeah, the hypertubes don't work the same. I've never had any problems working when I'm playing with them on the local game.
So when you're playing with yourself, you mean?
Yeah, I caught myself before I said that. So yeah.
Okay. Just looking out for you, you know. Trying to help.
So now that we got the radio control units, given a little bit of time anyway, you'll be able to build all the drones that you want.
I do like the drones, and then the naming of the drones to keep them orderly, or attempt to. Okay, so in theory, when these things start getting powered, which isn't happening yet.
What do you need me to do, sir?
Go to the 2 concrete nodes to the other side. I think it's the other side. Yes, go left and go to the other 2 nodes and just turn them on.
The other 2? There's 2?
Yes, there are 2. There's 2 there. To the right. No, your other right.
There's another one.
There's 2. Right.
What? So you just want them powered? Yeah?
What?
You want power to them?
Yeah, why did I do smart splitters over here? What the hell am I thinking?
I don't know.
Did I mention that I'm just not thinking and this is not going well?
I do like your belts, though.
Yeah.
Where are your smart splitters that you didn't want?
I replaced them already.
Oh. Okay. So you have a
So
smart
this is all
splitter going into this.
Yes. This way when it backs up, it dumps the excess into the sink.
And then you've got another smart splitter here.
Yes. So it dumps the excess into the sink.
Okay,
but one belt going in the sink.
Yeah, and you've got 2 industrial storage containers.
Yes.
I was just thinking you would have 1 industrial storage container. Everything would run into that one.
Well, that's why I was saying manifold. So it's all feeding into the sink with the bleed offs from the manifold.
When you say manifold, I'm thinking something very specific.
Isn't that what that is?
So when I'm thinking manifold, I'm thinking an array of splitters, right? Like that. And then you run those off.
Yeah, wouldn't they be going to
attaching a depot for each one of these, right?
Oh, that's what. That's the first thing I was trying to ask. Yes.
Yeah. So that's not what I was talking about.
Like I said, it would go all down to a single line.
Yeah. What I was saying, I'll just build it over here, and then I can tear it down. I don't.
You're gonna tear me down. You're not gonna tear it down.
This is what I was talking about, just to show you what I was talking about. Right? And then I'll get a splitter here, and another one here. Oh wait, let's go up one more. I did half.
I see your your connectiveness, yes. Despite your floating
Yeah,
splitters.
I'll put something there.
And you do 2 other depots. Really, you could really up your
You could
upload
put-
speeds and do more.
Yeah, you could go to 6 if you wanted to pretty easily. That's what I was talking about. And then each of you would merge the outputs of your refineries.
Right. So
and run
wait.
them into
Wouldn't you
one-
call that a manifold?
I wouldn't call
Because
that a manifold.
why? It's one pipe being split 6 ways.
I would call that a splitter.
W-
It might be
w-
a manifold and like. So you get equal delivery when you're going through the splitters. The manifold and what people talk about in Satisfactory with the line of splitters, each one of those would get half the number of items.
Yes.
And so you wouldn't get the same delivery rate as you would if you did them split out of the buffer.
Okay. So because one has an even distribution,
Yeah.
and one does not, is what you're telling me is the magical difference.
Pretty much. I mean, if you could evenly distribute things out of the manifold, that'd be fine. But that was not specifically what I was talking about. So what'll happen here is you're going to build twice as much concrete, right? So this is producing 40, 40. So you're getting 120 on each side, right? If you ran all 120 of those into one container, or all 240 of those into one container,
Mm-hmm.
then you'd still be loading these depots at the same rate as you are now until it overflows, right? Once that depot's full, then it'll start backing up into that one buffer. But that buffer is going to hold, I don't know how much you can put in a industrial storage, right? It's like thousands of items. And so, if you can go through that many stacks that would fit in an industrial container, let's see, 24,000 concrete. So you're going to get 48,000 concrete on backup. That's fine, but it's probably overkill. You just probably don't need that much. And then,
I mean, my standard is to overkill, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And,
so you would still basically be delivering to the dimensional depots at the same rate. And then eventually these could go up as high as 5 times as much as what they're doing, right? So to 1,200 something, or what do we say it was? I forget. So right now they're doing.
There's a 1,500 item input I was looking at, but that's all I remember.
So you could definitely get up to 1,200 out of this.
I'm a little confused. I don't think the containers pull evenly from each other, which I find interesting.
How are you getting the water up that high?
I don't know. That's what I was saying earlier, but the water is going up that high. I don't know.
It shouldn't.
I know it shouldn't.
Don't tell anybody.
You're
Take
right.
it away.
It was the easiest. Okay, boom. There's water. Okay.
That'll probably go away.
Yes, it probably will be. I mean, the rings are moving a little bit, so it's flowing. I don't know how well, but it's flowing. So, yeah. But look at this. The first depot. So these were stacked over here and running at the same time, but the bottom one filled up before the top one did at all. So I don't think your industrials containers are outputting evenly. They will once they're full.
Yeah, once they're full, they do.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, but I think the when the items come in at belt speed in the bottom, it delivers from the bottom one first until it's full, and then it starts delivering out of the top one.
Yeah, no, look at this one over here. It's splitting them. What's the difference?
Oh, I don't know.
This is at 427.
I sit corrected.
But these two were more evenly split. We're seeing both things happen here. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
Okay, as long as we both don't understand, that's good.
Very weird, man.
I don't know.
Did you ever just have one of these connected at a time, or did you ever have a bunch of
Negative.
items at once?
Nope.
So weird.
Because I didn't turn them on until this was all set up. Only one of the refineries kicked on at a time, but that would be feeding the container that's now full, or the dimensional depots that are now full, rather. So I don't know. That's very strange. I don't know how I feel about it. The other two just filled up at the exact same moment.
That is very weird.
Why was it even on one and not the other? Do you know what? It hurt our conversation. It said, you know what? I'm gonna be a manifold. You be the other thing Malt's talking about, not a manifold. And one did one did the other. Just to make sure we're covered. Because I mean, this isn't a perfect mirror, but it's a mirror. Functionality-wise.
Yeah, I don't know. That's confusing because I thought I understood how that would work, but now I question everything.
Good.
What do
Good.
I even know?
I feel accomplished in my life. That's a good idea. I like that idea that you're doing with the pillar stuff. Except for you messing with my pipe, man.
So go say that. Wait, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not the end of the world. Is there a cut piece that goes straight down and drops into a big?
Hmm?
The corner piece. Let's see.
Talking about that?
Yes, that is what I was looking for. So that's kind of neat. Okay. All right. Well, I redid a starter area thing, and that's a big accomplishment for me.
Well, you know what this means. You get to
I can
change the check mark on the wall
Can I have cookie?
to green. I didn't show the check marks, did I? I didn't show the wall. Didn't talk about it.
Yeah, way to go, fearless leader.
I was busy that day. Let me finish my massive pillar here. Then we'll go look at the wall.
I don't think I've ever placed a sign. So, what am I changing? Am I changing concrete?
Okay. Yeah, you change the concrete one to green. And then change the icon to... I can't believe you've never used signs.
I've never used... But remember, I'm the noob here. I don't want to hear shit.
See, this is why you don't have... That's why you're afraid of the architecture stuff. I say afraid. I mean, you don't think... You were saying you didn't know. Alright, so... I added... radio control. So here's the signs. I'll talk about the signs first so anybody that watches this can see. Basically, that is definitely not what what I was expecting. Okay. Um,
It's green.
it is green.
I'm looking through your stuff. Yep. Ramble. Go and
So,
ramble.
oh no, train and train have collided. Shoot. I have to go figure out what's going on there.
You gotta name some of these trains.
Can you name trains? I guess you can. Otherwise,
Yeah,
we're
I mean, yeah.
I learned something today. All right, so everything that's on here that's got the green check mark is something that we've got a factory building, automated, and is sufficient to our needs. Anything that is yellow, this kind of orangey yellow color, is something that I think we can do better. Like I would love to have a dedicated factory for crystal oscillators as opposed to just a byproduct of computers. So I'll put that one as yellow. Anything that's red is something that we can currently make but do not have automated. So this we now have automated. I can change to green. So that's green, and I'll change this over to the check. So that's now being done. That is not the same green. What green did I use? I know there's a better way to do that, but I'm not gonna.
Someone told me you can
Actually, save
copy and paste things. Can you copy and paste the signs?
You can. You can also save
Okay.
colors.
Oh.
So if I click,
Who's trying to hurt the colors? Are we
I don't
saving
know.
them from global warming?
So green, and now I have a preset that I can use for other things. All right, I'm gonna fix your sign because I don't know what you're doing with this. Use the Christmas one.
I did because I would not have grabbed that to come up with the check mark. That, yeah.
So now we have concrete. The other thing I kept running out of when I'm building trains is steel. So I want to improve our steel production, which we'll eventually do. Aluminum, I don't think this is going to be good enough. It might be fine for now, but I would like to do a lot more all-clad aluminum sheets with a little bit more dedicated thing. More trains have collided. Where the heck are
Yeah,
trains colliding? What is going
that
on, man?
that one was me. I ran into the train crash.
All right, and
But
finally, the great question marks are things we haven't unlocked yet. So if we haven't unlocked it, then I've left it gray so we don't have to worry about it. So we can make supercomputers, but we can't make turbo motors yet. Well, let's go see what the heck's going on with the trains.
it's out here at the computer factory, and I'm a little confused as to what hit what. But it looks like your purple train might be longer than the railing, the siding that it was on.
So maybe we need to space out the.
You might just need a bigger loop, which doesn't seem terribly far-fetched here. If I set these crash trains back on, am I disrupting the crime scene, or?
No, it'll be fine. They go back to where they were when they crashed. They won't crash again because they're not going to be moving, and it shuts off the.
Yes, that is what happened then.
So one of them was jutting out over its range.
Correct. It needs a longer siding, or we can probably move this. Well, it's not the main line, it's a siding. It's coming back onto the main line. One of your loops, to get technical with your train terms. I put in the correction, and then I will wait till you are nearby. But a siding where a train is off the main line and something else can go past it, so they wait. You're gonna want to apply brakes.
Yeah, I think you're gonna wreck the trains again.
Well,
Maybe not. Maybe not. Thank you
look
for
at
the
that.
warning.
Yeah. Yeah, very welcome. So, do
Oh,
you
I
see what I mean
see.
about
I see.
siding? Like,
No, I don't know
it's
what I
not
don't know what
enough
a
to.
siding is not the word I would use, but I get what you're saying now.
So, we need to make that loop a little bit longer,
Mm-hmm.
and we should be fine. But that loop also jets down underneath the tracks, which I'm going to cry party foul.
Yeah, I thought that they would be close enough that the signs would treat them as one block. Because see, these are, if you grab a
They're,
sign, they're both purple. The thing is, this is not purple, and that's why they ran into each other. So we'll start
okay.
that one.
Train menu, turn on self drive. I'm going to get the purple train on its way. So I went and moved the sign. So the purple train has probably got more than enough room to sit now.
Yeah. So probably what we want to do is have them actually cross and maybe create a path here.
You're still you're gonna have to come up a little bit more with your foundations here.
So these are still on, they're on the same block now. See, all those trains are purple, or all those tracks are purple. What is this?
Um,
Signal loops into itself.
yeah, you got rid of the siding.
Is there a path? Yes. Oh, that's block. That's block.
I don't understand why you made the loop shorter.
Well, it was, this is where it was going back in, right?
No,
It was coming over here.
it was coming in down there, but it was enough that it could sit off. It could cross the rails and sit off to the side.
Right, okay, so it was just doing this.
Sort
That's
of,
what it is.
yes. But again, you're dropping down below. Shouldn't you have these cross at a level point?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. So what I was doing is bringing this track back onto this at an earlier point instead of trying to go all the way around. So
I see that. I just I'm trying to follow you because that's
but I don't know what these things are doing now. So they're complaining about something. So there's purple, purple.
well now this other one's complaining about something. So I think it's this section right here that they're complaining about.
Must be.
That's what I mean. Like you got to come up and go level with that. Oh, I hear a bunch of stuff complaining now.
Nope, I fixed it.
Okay.
I fixed it, I think. So those trains are going to go all the way to that other loop and come back around. So they got to go to the turnabout before they'll figure out what's going on. But that should work.
Why does the purple section go out to your bridge near the orange section?
Those are two different purples. If you're talking about the stuff.
Oh man, like
yeah,
I do not like their color scheme at all.
See, there's a mathematical theorem about graph coloring that they need to read about. You only need 4.
You only need 4.
You only need 4 colors to color a graph.
Well, they start off with that orange. I think that's the first one you get, or is it the red?
I don't know, but I messed with something and now it's blue. So
One of the things I was talking to Cthulhu about was when you first lay this down, it looks like you're doing an improper section and it's just a random color.
Yeah.
It looks like random red, and I'm like, this is not clear. I don't like this.
the red makes it feel like you've just done it wrong.
Yes, it is not intuitive. It is not supportive, or I didn't even understand that was a section at first. If they started off with yellow or teal or half the other colors, I might pick up on that faster. But when they use it as a color indicator for good and bad, that's immediately what my brain goes to.
Mm-hmm.
So, critique, but
All right, I'm gonna upgrade
hopefully
this to a path. I think that'll work.
well, as long as you don't screw it up, you should be fine. And you know what I'm going to say if you screw it up.
I think I screwed it up. Block has conflicting signal entry types. That should fix it, except it didn't. Alright, so there's one entry. There's another entry. There's an exit. This is correct, I think.
I doubt it.
Oh no, that's not a path.
Just-
I thought that was a path. That has to be a path. That should work. Yep, okay. So the path will allow a train going straight through.
Oh, this is going to be
collide.
good. This is good. There's your collision.
That should not have happened.
But it did.
Yeah, we'll
because
block path.
The purple train was clear when it came through.
Yep, I'll turn it back to block path, and then that shouldn't happen. I thought it would work,
Right.
man.
I like this part of the game. This is great. Maybe we should start naming the trains too.
Yep, where's the name? Okay, what should we call this one?
Oh, that one's Purple Power. That's clearly the appropriate name. Now I kind of want to see him crash. Purple Power is taken out.
All right.
I don't know.
Let's see what we got. All right, so you can actually change the timetable of trains from the stations here. So, what is this guy doing? Ammunition. So he is going from Lake City to Deep Horizons, and that's just those trains are taking oil back and forth, right?
Oil and coal, yes. Fossil Express. I mean, Fossil Fuel Express, I guess it would be. Or the Fossil Fuel Fury. I like the Fossil Fuel Fury.
You have 2 of those, right?
Yes. So, the Fossil Fuel Fury and the faster Fossil Fuel Fury. Because if it's 3F and 4F, that's 2 different types of gunpowder. And I would be happy about that.
I'll allow it.
Nobody else would ever get that and understand, but 3F and 4F are gunpowder
There's
types.
the other one that's going there. So this was faster.
Sure, why not? I mean,
Okay, here the boss of the naming.
yeah, that's frightening.
Copper pickup to aluminum. Some so copper they use. There's copper used in
Ooh, the Penny Soda Express.
Penny Soda Express.
Yeah, it's pennies for aluminum cans of soda.
Okay,
Good.
this one I'm gonna eventually delete this train. This is just bringing aluminum into the home station from. Yeah, and I'm gonna get rid of it.
Just so we don't have to name it. Good plan. That's
it'll just stay
dedication.
And so this is the other copper train.
Okay, so the other copper train clearly needs to be named Training McTrain Face.
Training McTrain Face? I don't know. I need to understand what it does to be able to tell.
Well, if it's bringing copper to where for what? Okay, that's fine.
And let's see.
What else we got?
Wood forest to computer factories delivering aluminum casings.
Aluminum casings to where?
To the computer factory. It's bringing it to computer factory for the radio control units.
Oh, the radio flyer. Okay. I couldn't think belts and stuff today, but I've got shenanigans and BS. Thank God for that.
I have to put aluminum casing in the name on that one
because
you're rid of. Okay, so this is the quartz. This is the second quartz one. What is it?
The second quartz one. Rolling crystal. That's right. They're pretty good. That one. That might be the train that Walter White robbed in Breaking Bad. Just saying. Could be. Could be a thing.
All right, now the trains have names. It's important stuff.
The crystal one was carrying methylamine as well, right? You put an honorary tanker car on there of methylamine.
Oh, this does not have supports. This is a floating platform bed. You let me do it again.
I'll let you do anything. There's no stopping you.
That's probably true.
Oh, the rolling crystal or something to it went too fine. Just really hoping it would crash. Because now I want to see a train crash.
It's like watching a train crash. Can't look away.
No, like hundreds of people died when they watched that and sold tickets.
They sold tickets? What are you talking about?
So, I think it was in Texas. There was a great train crash where they actually took two locomotives and crashed them into each other at full speed and sold tickets to people to watch it. And there were people injured.
Wow.
This was a real thing that happened. The other note is it was before the word liability was coined. That part may not be true.
Add supports.
Let's see.
All right, we're almost at 9, man. Did a lot. We built a factory. Crashed some trains. We named some trains. We fixed some trains.
It was the crash at Crush, Texas, on September 15th, 1896. It was a publicity stunt.
The trains are
You had it-
dripping with the water here.
I don't know why I let you touch things. For $350, the equivalent of $132, you could watch locomotives crash and their boilers explode. Non-fatal injuries were 6+. There were 2 deaths.
Oh, nice.
History's crazy. I really enjoy it. There are some photos online of the two locomotives meeting before the crash, and there's actually some pictures of the crash. There's some still photos. So
All right,
yeah,
fixed
very
it.
neat.
I think if I actually brought the train flat, I could do a path signal here. Oh, now you're trying to build stuff on there. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Oh man, I see that it reacted, or you cut the lines and then it. Oh,
No, I think you're right. I think it did react. But I am trying to fix the situation in a better way. So now that this is all flat,
oh yeah, that is, I think, much better, except for the part you're.
random floating
What
signal, path
what
signal.
is there
Okay.
concrete or something below me? I don't see that. That's fun.
Oh,
Okay.
now I will fix this later. But that will.
Oh, and those don't despawn.
Are you having lag?
Oh no, I'm just borked.
You left the game. I think the server might be borked too. I can't dismantle this thing.
That's what I was having happen because I
Dismantle
dismantled
that
some
one.
things.
That one won't go.
Right. I might be able to fix that in a second. Because that's what was happening is I wouldn't be able to build or dismantle things, which some people call it a feature to keep me from screwing things up.
I mean, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, and I don't see those supports that you have there. I just see the one by the water pump here that I just got rid of. Because I don't like it. I think I don't like you.
Okay. So hopefully our trains will not run into each other now.
What if I want them
And
to run into each other?
if one train is going to the right, the other one can still go straight through the left. What'd you do? Did you wreck a train?
It didn't talk about crashes.
Well, you're about to get a crash. Looks like. Nope. Nope.
No, that's it. There you go. See? Testing the safety equipment. Very important for the. No, I didn't get the name of that train. Or no, it's Rolling Crystal. Rolling Crystal. We ensured the safety of Rolling Crystal.
Very good. All right.
It is.
We're nothing if not safe. We may be nothing.
And handicap comes to mind as well. But yes.
Yes. All right. I think that is all for the evening. I really do like the name
Okay.
Tragic Penguin.
But where did you get Tragic Penguin?
That's the guy who commented. I wish I'd noticed it.
Hmm.
All right. Well, next time I'm going to probably make this building look a little more realistic. I think it's going to fall on those stands don't look right. So I'm going to make this a little more sturdy, and we can. Do we want
We
to?
can name more things because
Yeah.
I enjoyed that part. But no, I got to get some aluminum casing over to the Lake City and get turbo bullets.
Yep. Yeah, and I think
And
I'll
then
do some rebuilding of the starter base stuff and connect that up to more trains. More trains.
Trains.
I like trains.
And I got drone stations to build and name.
Drone stations to build. Yes. Look forward to seeing how you name your drone stations. I know I name things boringly, but I do it from like organizational. I'm thinking I'm functional. I'm just too functional.
These are trains.
Yeah, trains are fun. Hey, look, trains. All right, next time. Bye.